Okay, so we are starting our unit 4, and I'm on page 3 of our unit 4 packet. So I want to go over today functional notation, and we're used to y is equal to x squared plus 7. Well, now we have this other notation, f of x is equal to x squared plus 7. This f of x is the same thing as y, so we want to view it as the same thing. Now this isn't f times x, we call this f of x. F of x, and that's how it's read. Other ways to signify y is this right here, and these other notations we're not going to use in this class, but if they ever come up on the SAT or any other classes, you guys know that all of that means the same thing. So, going over to our first example, we're going to go over evaluating functions. A function is represented by f of x. F of x is equal to 2x plus 5. So, find f of 3. Now, if we have 3 in replace of the x, then that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to replace 3 with the x. So I'm replacing 3 for this x and 3 for this x. So that means f of 3 is equal to, instead of 2 times x, I'm saying 2 times 3 plus 5. So this is going to equal 6 plus 5. So my answer is equal to 11. So you're evaluating the function when x is equal to 3. So let's look at the next example. Find the value of r of v when v is equal to negative 2. So I'm plugging in negative 2 every single time I see a v. So I'm going to have negative 2 cubed. Remember, I need parentheses around that negative 2. Plus 3 times negative 2 squared minus 5 times negative 2 minus 6. That's going to equal my r of negative 2. Okay, so negative 2 cubed. I'm going to have negative 2 times a negative 2, which gives me a positive 4. Positive 4 times another negative 2 gives me negative 8. Always, in this case, do your exponent first. Do not multiply the 3 first. That's a common mistake. So negative 2 squared is negative 2 times negative 2, which gives us 4. 4 times 3 gives us a positive 12. Here I have a negative 5 times a negative 2, which is going to give me a positive 10, minus 6. From here I can just combine like terms. Negative 8 plus 12 gives me a positive 4. Positive 4 plus 10 gives me 14. And 14 minus 6 will give me 8. So my answer here is equal to 8. Okay, now those are the couple examples on page 3. I want you guys to turn the page over. Now I'm looking at page 4. So find the value of h of x is equal to 2x squared plus 6x minus 3 when x is equal to 4a. So whenever I see an x, I'm plugging in 4a. So I'm going to have 2 times, I need parentheses around the 4a squared, plus 6 times 4a minus 3. Now, here's a red flag, a tricky part that students might forget. You have to distribute this squared term to everything in parentheses. So this 2 is being distributed to the 4 and the a. Now here I don't have an exponent to distribute, so I don't have to. So I'm going to have 4 squared, which is 16, and a squared, which is just a squared. Here I'm going to have 6 times 4, which is 24 times a, minus 3. So here I have 2 times 16. That will give me 32. So 32a squared plus 24a minus 3. Now I don't have any like terms here that I can combine. So this is my final answer. Let's go to the next example. Find f of 3h plus 2 when f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 1. So I'm going to take this entire term and I'm going to replace it with the x. So every time I see an x, I'm replacing it with 3h plus 2. 3h plus 2. So I'm going to have, I need this term in parentheses because I have a square term above it. So 3h plus 2 squared plus 2 times parentheses 3h plus 2. I need parentheses because of this addition sign here. Now, the common mistake in this problem is students distribute the 2. Don't do it. Okay, look at the difference. I distributed the square term here, but I'm not going to distribute it here because of this addition. Whenever you have addition or subtraction, you cannot distribute the 2. Instead, we have to write it out. So now I can distribute. I'm going to have 3h times 3h, which gives me a 9h squared. 3h times 2, which is going to give me 6h. 2 times 3h, which gives me plus 6h. 2 times 2, which gives me 4. I'm done with that one now. And now I'm going to go to this one. So I have 2 times 3h, which gives me 6h. 2 times 2, which gives me 4. Don't forget your minus 1 on the outside. From here, after I've distributed, I can combine like terms. So I look at my h squared here. No other terms have h squared, so that's going to be a loner there. I have a 6h, a 6h, a 6h. So that's going to give me 6 times 3, which is 18h. And then I have a 4 plus 4, which gives me 8, minus 1, which is going to give me 7. So I have 9h squared plus 18h plus 7.